Hey everybody, William Padilla Brown here, and I'm going to be doing a garden update. And what you're looking at is a Stropharia mushroom. This is a also known as a wine cap, Latin name Stropharia rugosa unulata, and it's a beautiful mushroom. I just harvested this morning from our garden patch. I harvested about 2 pounds over the past 2 days of Stropharia mushrooms. Wonderful, edible, delicious mushroom, and there hasn't been that much rain, so I'm thinking if we get some rain before the first Saturday of May, we'll have a large flush of Stropharia mushrooms for our farmers market here on 4th Street, which is the street down there. We'll be doing the farmers market on 4th Street, where you can see us at the intersection of 4th and Bridge in New Cumberland, and we'll have some fresh mushrooms that we're growing in our micro farm facilities, as well as lots of other fresh produce and wild forage products. So I'm just going to be doing a garden update today. So here we go. For those of you that were following along, I've expanded the Spirulina culture out of the 5-gallon. And now we have our Spirulina growing here. There's 10 gallons of culture here, and we're going to be expanding this out for the outdoor algae growing season. So we're going to be growing Spirulina outdoors this year, and I'll be posting lots of updates. This is yeah, I mean, there's a high pH, high alkaline water. I try not to open it too much to allow this evaporated water to come back down, which is at a different pH than the water down there, but just wanted to show you guys up close on the Spirulina. So yeah, we're cultivating Spirulina. We're also going to get some Haematococcus out here soon. So other than that, right over here, we have some of our worm castings from our kitchen scraps and mushroom compost last year, which we've been using to amend the garden and to pot some of our plants. So all of our plants are growing in our own compost that we've created here, so we don't have to go out and buy potting soil or anything like that. Right here, we have some potatoes growing in boxes out of wood chip compost mixed with our earthworm castings. So we got lots of potatoes coming out here. We put some purple potatoes in here, so we're going to get some nice, wonderful purple potatoes. So as they grow, we're going to add more material, more compost, and so that we can get more potatoes, and we'll stack this up and then open the bottom of these boxes and add them into more boxes so the potatoes can expand out and we can get as many potatoes as we can get by stacking it up. So we'll see how this works this year, and this may be one of the ways that we'll be cultivating potatoes in the future. And we also have 40 pounds of seed potatoes planted over at Kurt's terrace garden. Kurt has been doing lots of cool stuff creating soils over there, and we'll do another garden update over there soon. We just installed an herb garden, some corn, some carrots, lots of onions and garlic and stuff. So lots of cool updates to come. So we have our strawberries in here, and they're doing very well. We have 2 strawberry plants, and this one gets shaded out a little bit, so it's not growing as much as the other, but they're doing well. And then we have our sage here that we use for smudging and eating, and this lived in the basement this year. That's why it's so big already. So we've covered this up to maintain some of the moisture in the soil with some mushroom blocks that got contaminated with a little bit of trichoderma, which is a common soil fungus. It's very good for the roots of our plants. So we just added it there to retain some moisture because it has not rained in quite some time. So we need to keep retaining as much moisture as we can. And we ran out of rainwater, so our barrels are completely dry. We need to collect some on the next rain event. Yeah, so other than that, right now we have the integrated pest management out. We got our chickens over there, taking care of some of the slugs and bugs that have been terrorizing some of our spring crops. So here we have our chokeberry aronia coming in, doing very well. The leaf set is coming in nice, and hopefully we'll get lots of berries this year. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chokeberry plants in, and yeah, they're growing in the compost mound of our hugelkultur mound. So they are all hugelkultur mounds. They all have logs buried underneath them, retaining a little bit more moisture, so we don't have to water as often. But as I said, it hasn't rained in a very long time. so we need as much water as we can get. So over here on this hugelkultur mound, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 heads of romaine. So 9. This is all for our salad. 9 romaine plants growing for our salad greens. We're all gonna get some more. We're gonna get some more salad greens in, but there's lots of wild greens to be eating right now. So we wanted to supplement with a base, a nice lettuce to use as a base for our salads, and then we'll have lots of other wild greens like dandelion greens and the lamb's quarters coming up like crazy. We got lots of pea shoots and loads of other wild edibles to be eating. Over here, we have some purple asparagus coming out. This is the second set of purple asparagus. I ate the first one, and you can see this one's starting to get some of its color. When they come out, they're very white, and then the sun gets them nice and the pigments develop. I think it's to protect them. I mean, that's mostly why organisms produce different pigments and oils, to protect themselves from the radiation. So they produce this wonderful pigment and a very tasty asparagus shoot. So we're gonna let these go out. We're not gonna harvest those as we've done with these asparagus here. We've let them grow out. We did harvest off of this patch a few times this year, but we're letting them grow so they can start storing some energy and growing out nice, so we can harvest them a lot more next year. So there's another asparagus coming out. I didn't think I planted anything. I didn't think I planted any asparagus in this patch, but it turns out I did. So there's another asparagus coming out here that has grown out a little bit of its leaf set. I'm not quite sure of the term of what you would call an asparagus leaf, but it's out here photosynthesizing and doing its thing, storing some energy and photosynthesizing. And we got a volunteer potato here. I didn't put this in, it's just growing right out of the ground, so we'll add some more soil, more compost on top of that. We'll harvest a nice bit of potatoes out of there. We have another volunteer potato somewhere in the garden. We'll see as we go through on this tour. So this sea buckthorn is doing amazing. It's been coming back very well. It's been out here since March. Yeah, and it's growing a nice leaf set. So we're gonna get some, hopefully we'll get some berries off this year. I'm not sure on all of the facts on the sea buckthorn. I was actually gifted these plants. This one I don't think is going to come back. It seems that it has a little bit of life when I play with the stem, so I'm going to let it go and see what happens. Other than that, this sea buckthorn is coming back, not as vigorous as this one here, but still doing its thing. We have our dwarf blueberry over here, and it's putting on a nice set of flowers, so we'll get a little bit of berries off here. And we're going to get another few berry plants, few blueberry plants. We don't have to worry about raspberries. We have loads of wineberries, loads of blackberries out here that grow wild, so we're not going to worry about introducing those into our garden. But we do want to get some gooseberry and goji berries out to our garden this year, so I'm going to work on that here over the next week or so. We have some Jerusalem artichoke coming out over there. We're just going to harvest the rhizomes off of that. The kale from last year has gone to flower, which is fine. We harvested off of it a little bit earlier this year, and we'll just let them do their thing, go through a full cycle. And we got our dinosaur kale out here that's been terrorized by the slugs. So we have our chicks out here eating up all the bugs out of the compost piles to make sure we can keep our plants healthy. See, this pepper has been damaged heavily by bugs, and yeah, so we're going to take care of that. So we have our 2 peppers in here, and they're doing well. Aside from the bug damage, they've grown a little bit since they've been introduced. Other than that, I just did this small installation where I buried some straw logs of oyster mushrooms, covered them with some semi-contaminated blocks of the same species of oyster mushroom, and then covered it up with some straw and watered it to make sure the straw doesn't go anywhere. The straw is just shading it to maintain moisture, and hopefully we'll get some oyster mushrooms that fruit out of this. But it's also protecting and maintaining moisture for these pea plants that are in here, which we'll get something in there for them we'll get a nice little trellis in there for them. so we'll get a nice amount of peas this year. Also, some of these beans are holding on. They've just been getting beat by the sun. I've been trying to water them, but I'm surprised that they're still hanging on right now, so that's really awesome. We just did an installation of 2 large logs. I'm not sure what kind of wood type this is. It was just offered for free in somebody's front yard. It's a hardwood. I know that for sure, but we inoculated them with pink oyster, so we have 2 with the pink oyster, and then those are our shiitake there, and they get shaded out by the fence for a fair amount of the day. And there we go, that's our integrated pest management team, and they're doing good work, just digging around in the compost pile and taking care of all the slugs and other bugs that might be detrimental to our plants at this time. So we're going to put them into their little tractor over there, the upcycled dog cage, and once I go inside, after I'm done managing the garden for now. So they've been out here for I'd say 45 minutes, almost an hour, and they haven't stopped, so I'm sure they feasted on I mean, they're gorging themselves on bugs right now, and I'll just let them keep going. So yeah, other than that, not too much else to update. We had some pink oysters start to fruit in the greenhouse, but just like I said, we've been getting beaten with the heat. I've been trying to add as much spray in there as I can. I'm going to add some sort of humidification system in there, maybe a shade cloth, so that we can fruit some proper mushrooms in there. So yeah, this is the backyard garden. We're going to keep adding installations. One of my friends, Brett Ziegler, is going to be coming out today to help with an installation on a solar still, so we can be producing distilled water from our rainwater on site for algae production. So yeah, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, share on Facebook, Twitter, any of your favorite permaculture blogs, gardening blogs, phycology blogs, mycology blogs, backyard chicken blogs, anything like that. Other than that, this is William Padilla Brown. This is my home permaculture systems, and we're decentralizing the community through education. We've had lots of people come here and just ask questions about the garden, and we're happy to answer them, and feel free to stop by if you live in New Cumberland. I hope everybody can do something great for their community.